US and China have just agreed a massive trade deal. We have just had breaking news this morning that the US and China have come to an agreement, guys. This is absolutely massive. I've mentioned before, if we get a trade deal between the two big nations, that the market is going to rip, and we are seeing all markets rip pre-market this morning. We have had a fantastic few weeks of bullish price behavior on all markets, including the S&P, Nasdaq, and of course Bitcoin. Also, we want to be talking about altcoins in this video as well, because they're starting to see a move. So a lot of bullish risk on sentiment has entered the market. However, we still need to be cautious when everybody is bullish. Okay, just like we were very bullish when people were bearish, we need to be very cautious when everybody's getting bullish. So we want to be talking about where this market is likely headed next. You want to be exercising some form of caution here. We'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about how I'm positioned in the market and what we can expect going forward. So very, very risk on this morning. We want to be talking about that, and we want to be analyzing the chart. So let's get straight and right into it. All right, so the S&P 500 last week was quite an indecisive week. I think this is what we call a doji, right? I'm not a big candle expert, but I think this is what we call a doji candle, which is a very indecisive candle, right? Very, very indecisive candle. We did obviously get a rejection. This is the level I was talking about, this 50-day moving average, and also the Liberation Day high. So we have taken out the Liberation Day high, and we did get a rejection from there. Okay, we did get a rejection from there. So that was over here. We've got the rejection, and now we bounced back above this 50-day moving average. If I just take this off, we bounced back. So we started the week on Monday. We came down. I was hedged over here. Okay, I talked about hedging the portfolio because this is the obvious resistance zone for me. However, the market continued to rally towards the end of the week, which is obviously nice for us all. We want the market to be flying towards the all-time highs. And I have to tell you guys that this reminds me of the pandemic, guys. This reminds me of the pandemic. I know we have massive stimulus here, but right now we are seeing the president of the United States backtracking a lot of the aggressive tariff rhetoric that was in place when we got this sell-off. So removing that tariff uncertainty gives businesses a lot more clarity, and that should help the economy move forward without any problems as such from tariffs. So there's a lot more certainty in the markets now. And if you look at this today, guys, this is the ES futures, which is the S&P 500 futures. This trades before market open, and you can see we've had currently we've got a 3% day on here today, okay, pre-market. So on that news, the China trade deal news, we have had a massive reaction today, okay, massive reaction. The tariffs have gone down on the US side to 30% from 125%. And from the China side, it's gone down to 10% from 125%. So massive drops, right? Massive drops, because the White House knows that it's not sustainable. China knows it's not sustainable. They were just playing hardball at the start. I just think it was absolute theater. For me, this was always going to get backtracked. Okay, they tried it, then they saw the market reaction, and they backtracked. And I think Trump has. That's his style, right? He goes high as possible, and then obviously he backtracks after that. So he goes for the maximum, and then he works his way down from there. So there's a 90-day pause again, 90-day period of negotiations. So you could see this coming down even further. So this, from 30%, it could come down to 20 or 10 from the US side. So yeah, Trump still got trade deals to conduct with Europe, other parts of Asia. A lot of trade deals still left to negotiate. So yeah, it's looking bullish, guys. I can't say it's not looking bullish. This is looking very, very, very bullish, guys. Okay, and I personally think that we are going to get a new all-time high. Okay, I do think that we are going to get a new all-time highs on the stock market. I do think the low is in, and I do believe that we're going to see a new all-time highs on the S&P 500. Okay, so this, as you can see on ES here, it's just looks so much similar to the COVID pandemic, right? The way this is V-shaping back up. This was completely different. Somebody was arguing with me that this is a V-shape. This is not a V-shaped recovery. Okay, this is consolidation, and then you get the V-shape. This is completely different to what we're seeing here. This is just like COVID, V-shape, V-shape. This is not a V-shape. This is a consolidation before you get the bull market. This is, extreme, right? Extreme fall, and then we'd run back to the highs just as fast as we came down. So if we see back in what happened in the pandemic with this moving average, okay, once we got back above it, we're here right now. Okay, we're here right now. Once we got back above it, we back tested it, and then it was off. It was off to new highs. Okay, and that's pretty much what I'm kind of expecting now. The way because I day trade the ES futures every single day. The way the tape is moving, just like I said to you when the market was all the way here. Okay, was all the way here. And I told you the way the market was just moving down here, the way the tape was moving, okay, if you don't know what the tape is, it's just the time and sales and the order flow. The way it was moving was early signs for me that this just gives off a sign of a larger move to the downside. Okay, it was giving me bear market vibes. Okay, and that's what we got. We got a 20+% drop in the S&P 500, which is a technical bear market. Okay, so we did have that drop. So the tape now, the way the tape is moving, every single drop just gets eaten. Okay, every single drop is getting eaten. The way it's moving is giving me early indications of a bull market. Okay, so I do feel that I do think this is the low, guys. If you missed it, unfortunately, there's nothing you can do apart from waiting for a pullback or a confirmation of a new bull market. And for me, the confirmation of a bull market will be this here. Okay, what happened? I think if you get this, it's off to the races. I think you get a new all-time highs pretty soon. Especially with rate cuts coming, quantitative tightening is ending. They have to refinance the debt. More trade deals. The big beautiful tax bill. Very bullish stuff is still yet to come. So if I see a move out, move back in, for me, that's probably what you want to be buying for a new bull market. If it's a blow off top recession, then that's obviously something we're going to have to assess at the time. I can't tell you if there is going to be a recession at the end of this year, next year, whatever. We'll have to reassess when we get there. Right now we are trading the charts, and the charts are telling me that a new all-time high is pretty much on the way. Okay, if we can clear this resistance. If I pull a fib as well, we are right now, we're going to get to the 786. So for me, you get past that, yes, new all-time highs, guys. And to be honest with you, I think this is the SPX. When we open today, we're going to open with a gap up, right? We're going to open with a gap up. And if you follow crypto, if you follow Bitcoin, which most of you on this channel probably do, I think Bitcoin was an early indication that the stock market was going to recover, right? Bitcoin is almost back at all-time highs. Okay, so that kind of gave me an early indication that the S&P 500 is going to recover as well with Bitcoin. If I overlay the S&P 500, okay, you can see, right? It came down, and Bitcoin's almost back at the highs, and S&P is pretty much like here right now, okay? Pretty much right here, this drop. So Bitcoin has had that surge, so I expect S&P 500 to follow the same trajectory as Bitcoin, and that's what it's going to do today, right? It's going to open up with a gap up. So yeah, Bitcoin is flying, guys, okay? Bitcoin is absolutely flying. It's almost back at all-time highs, okay? I do think we'll see a pullback into this fair value gap here. If I pull, none of this is pre-recorded, guys, so whatever I do on this channel is completely brand new, okay? It's brand new. I don't pre-record anything. I don't have a set plan what I'm going to talk about. I just analyze the charts completely fresh, okay? So this volume profile, I did expect some form of a resistance at the value area high, but we blasted past it. So it's extremely bullish, okay? And we got towards this top end of this node. This node is pretty much down here, so we could get into 107 before then coming down and then up. So that's what I'm kind of expecting here, okay? So I moved to like 107, then back down to 100 before we blast past the all-time highs. What I don't want to see is a swing failure pattern, okay, like that. I don't want to see that. I do not want to see a swing failure pattern here. I'd rather have some consolidation, move down, okay, some consolidation, and then a new all-time highs. I think that's a much stronger move if that's what happens, because that's what we got last time, right? If you see, just as we approach the all-time highs, okay, just as we approach the all-time highs here, we've got to move down and then we blast it past, okay? That's what I wanna see again on Bitcoin, and I think that's pretty much I think that's the most likely scenario. Obviously not financial advice. None of this is financial advice on this channel. However, if you want to know what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, you want to follow what I'm doing, a link is in the description. The Discord is completely free, won't cost you a single penny. We've not had a massive move on Bitcoin today, even though with the news, I think Bitcoin is front running pretty much everything right now. So we're getting a move down. So we could come down and fill this and then blast up. So yeah, that would be pretty much the same thing, right? We could come down here into this value area high on this fair value gap, and then put in a new all-time high. So either way, I do expect an all-time high. I just don't want to see a swing failure pattern. Those are really, really dangerous patterns, right? Get a swing failure pattern, and then, you know, you're back in within range, and it does something like this. Yeah, that would not be nice. That would not be nice. Okay, that would not be nice. In terms of the altcoins have started to move a little bit. Okay, they're starting to move. So if you look at something like Sui, that is also almost at back to, you know, all-time highs. We've pumped, you know, a good 200%, I think, on this. Well, 150%. So really nice move on Sui. A lot of altcoins are getting some bids. So even something like FET is getting a really nice bid here. Okay, 160% from the lows. Is it alt season? Is it alt season? That's the question we keep getting asked. Okay, that's the question we keep getting asked. Is it alt season? So for me, the most important chart is this one. Okay, is ETH versus BTC. This needs to be going. This needs to just keep going. Okay, in order for us to get alt season. Will it happen? Is this the fake out, or is this the real move? Now I don't know. Okay, we could see a situation like this before, right? Where we went up, okay, where we went up and then we came back down to put in a double bottom. So we could get that same move. We could get that same move, and then we get the real move. Okay, that I could see happening. I could see happening, even though ETH USD might not fall as hard, even if we do get this move, because I feel this move could come when Bitcoin is breaking to new all-time highs. Okay, so I could see that happening, where you get the move to all-time highs on Bitcoin, new highs maybe to 125, and then you get this move down on ETH BTC. That doesn't necessarily mean on ETH USD you're gonna get a pullback. I think ETH USD will carry on moving higher with Bitcoin, but its pair against Bitcoin will move down. And then when Bitcoin starts stabilizing at 130, then you get the bigger move to the upside. I could see a scenario where that happens. And I see, I watched Ben Cohen's video. He's a big influencer analyst on YouTube. And he has obviously always compared the Fed balance sheet. Okay, so when Fed are doing QT, price goes down. Okay, you can see this on twice, right? 2 occasions now. When the Fed balance sheet is going down, ETH Bitcoin is going down, altcoins are going down. Okay, Fed balance sheet going down, ETH BTC is going down. So altcoins are bleeding when the Fed are doing quantitative tightening. Okay, we know what the Fed are saying now. We know that the Fed are going to be stopping quantitative tightening, or I mean they've reduced it a hell of a lot, right? And it's almost coming to an end. So for me, the way I see it, I see the Fed balance sheet just flatlining now. Okay, it's definitely not going to keep going like this, right? Because they're stopping the QT. If anything, I don't think they're going to start quantitative easing anytime soon. So I can see the balance sheet just doing this, right? Till next year. I don't think they're going to do QE. I just don't see. I don't see that happening unless like we get a recession or something. But I feel like the balance sheet will be stable, just like we saw here. Okay, just like we saw here. This is exactly what we saw during Trump's first term, right? The balance sheet was sideways. So I expect the balance sheet to be sideways, and we got alt season. We got alt season, right? We got alt season when the Fed balance sheet. As long as they're not aggressively doing quantitative tightening and the balance sheet is just going sideways, that is a potential for alt season. I mean, last time he says, ETH BTC bottomed when we got QE, but I don't necessarily think you need QE in order to get alt season. I just think the situation here was different. You got that QE because we had the COVID pandemic, but I don't think that necessarily was the reason. We had a strong dollar at this time, right? This is the period where we had a weaker dollar, just like Trump came in. If I overlay, can I overlay another chart? Let's have a look. Okay, so have a look at this, right? This is the period where the dollar, okay, the dollar was moving aggressively down. Okay, look at this period, right? Look at this period, guys. Here, look at this, right? I don't know if you can see this clearly, but you can see the dollar topped, okay, ETH BTC bottomed, right? ETH BTC bottomed, and then we got alt season as the dollar completely collapsed. What we're seeing now, we've got a high on the dollar, we've got the dollar collapsing, obviously because of the tariff uncertainty and the fact that Trump does like a lower dollar. We've got the same thing. We've got the Fed balance sheet, okay, in the red line here, going sideways during this period of this move, alt season, okay. Now, I believe we're going to see the Fed balance sheet in the red, sideways, okay. The dollar's probably going to come back down, in my opinion, I believe. But we've already had the move in the dollar. And now I think that sets up an environment where we get a big move to the upside on ETH BTC. Okay. So we may not have alt season today. We might not have it next week. We might not even have it next month. But I feel we are getting very, very close to a ETH alt season. Ethereum chart, BTC chart is the most important chart to look at. Obviously, we also need to look at Bitcoin dominance. Okay, we need to look at Bitcoin dominance. That obviously will come down naturally when this goes up. Okay, there's no point pulling up an ETH Bitcoin dominance chart, BTC.D. Okay, you can see. Right, you can see quite clearly. This is the clearest as days, right? Last time, look at this. BTC dominance in red completely collapsed when ETH BTC was off to the moon, right? Look at this. That was a huge move on ETH BTC and Bitcoin dominance collapsed, right? You can see that quite clearly. And now, if we have a bottom, look at this, right? So check this out. So Bitcoin dominance coming down, ETH BTC moving higher. Okay, ETH BTC moving higher. So yeah, are we gonna get that move? Are we going to get that move? Are we going to get this move and this back down on Bitcoin dominance? Or are we going to double bottom? Okay, with dominance moving back up and a double top. Maybe, you know, like we saw here. Okay, we got triple tops here before this move down. Right? So either way, I do think alt season is close, guys. Alt season is close, in my opinion. I do think we're going to get alt season. Yeah. I think we're setting up an environment. We're setting up a base for an alt season, guys. All right. Anyways, we've analyzed all the charts. Another reason, obviously, I've not talked about is the VIX. Okay, look at the VIX, guys. All right, it's absolutely collapsing. It's down to 20 from 60, right? From 20, it's gone down to 60. So that's another reason why I feel that this is going to turn into another bull market, right? This has just collapsed. The volatility has just collapsed in recent weeks. It's back down to 20. That is bull market levels, guys. That is bull market levels. Yeah, I mean, we could see a little bit of a move back up if we see a pullback. But yeah, this is a massive collapse in volatility, right? VIX is just completely off the rails here. So yeah, that's what happened during COVID as well. You can see that, right? Came back to the 50, we've got a spike. Okay, we've got a spike and then just collapsed down. Yeah, so that's what the evidence suggests, that more continuation to the upside. It's risk on. I'm making some plays. I have some plays. Obviously, I bought the bottom of the stock market. So I did my job. In terms of crypto, I'm obviously allocated in Bitcoin. I'm already allocated in Bitcoin from many years ago. I haven't sold. Obviously, I'm going to allocate more risk into altcoins. I'm just waiting a little bit for a potential pullback on some of those coins. I will do a video on which coins I'm going to be buying. But if you want early access to which coins I'm getting into, which coins I'm looking at, link is in the description. Come and be a part of a fantastic Discord. It's completely free. Come and share your opinions with us. We will share our opinions with you. Anyways, guys, some caution is to be exercised. If you haven't bought the dip on stocks, you will have to wait for some form of a pullback before you get in and add more risk on. You don't want to be chasing here because you don't know nothing is certain in the market. So if you do get a massive move back down, then you're just going to get burnt. So you want to be waiting for a pullback before you start allocating more risk. That's what I'm doing with the risky altcoins. But I think it's setting up for a very, very nice risk on environment for the next at least 3 to 6 months going forward. But if any of the data changes, we are flexible. We will adapt accordingly. But for now, things are looking good. However, do not just ape in. Do not buy the tops. That's not the way we invest. That's not the way we trade. Anyways, guys, I hope you found some value from the video. Yeah, if you like what you see, if you like the videos, give me a like, give me a subscribe. You will get future releases of videos to your feed first, okay, so you don't miss them, because these markets can move very, very quickly. So if you want to know in real time what we're doing, you can follow us on Twitter as well. Link is in the description there as well. We would love to have you on all our platforms. But thank you for watching, guys. Stay safe. Bye.